All right, looks like we're live. If anybody's in here already, let me know if my mic is working. I've been trying to figure out reason I got on so late. I couldn't get my mic set up. I had to restart my computer, unplug the mic, rerun the wires, everything. So if you're listening right now, let me know how it sounds, please. Let's see. Joseph Scott's in the house. Josh Stewart. Julio, what's up? Says TMB, let's go. And Joseph Scott, new member, right on. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's the first one of the day. And let me see here. I'm still getting all this other stuff set up real quick. But Joseph, thank you. Thank you for real. Big Nate, what's up? Fluffer, good morning. Okay, Joseph says we're sounding good. Right on. Thank you. I did get some stuff accomplished yesterday too. Let me just pull this up real quick and then I'll show you guys some of the new stuff I put in there. Pete says, sorry I'm late. Yeah, no, I'm late too. I mean, I just started like 2 minutes ago. I came on this morning and my mic wouldn't set up and I had to go get a new wire, reroute everything, plug everything in, but I guess Joseph just said it sounded good, so I'm glad that's working. All right. 6H Spindrift, what's up? Good morning. Put this off over here. Since I restarted my computer, now I'm trying to get all of my screens back open. All right. Okay, I think I got it set up. Hey, so Mike says I'm slacking, give him 20 push-ups. I got you. I'll get you right after the stream. Pete says it's flooding in Philly. Huh, I didn't even hear nothing about that. Fluffer says no power here. Okay. Where you at again, Fluffer? I forget. What state? Wabistics, what's up? Good morning. Risky Seeds. Got everybody rolling in now. Again, sorry I'm late. Won't let it happen again. Hey, so members, because it looks like we got quite a few people signed on, and I'll announce it again later. So I played around with the emojis yesterday, and I got some of them up there. I'm not exactly sure how you do emojis. I think you click the little. Oh, okay, I see it right now. So here, I'm just gonna go ahead. We got the Shoddy Scots, or the Scotty Shots. Let me see if this works. I just threw them in the chat right now. Let's see what they look like. Risky Seeds, good morning. Big Daddy Roro, what's up? Says let's have a green day. Justin, good morning. What's going on? So I just threw some of them in the chat. There's another one too that I don't know why. Oh, maybe because I'm on dark mode. The TMB one. I'm gonna have to play with that because I did make a TMB one, and I'm noticing now that because I'm on dark mode, it doesn't show up. So that's one that I might have to change and figure out how to switch up a little bit. Crypto says $10 price target from Citi yesterday. Okay, I'm gonna go check that out right now. Let me pull up. I'm still getting all my screens loaded up right now. Florida Nick says, let's get rich today. Absolutely. I'm ready. I've been waiting for a while. I see Jimmy says that the mic does sound bad. Damn. 1 second. All right, let's see. How's that sound? Does that sound a little bit better? I was trying to get this squared away. That's why I signed on a little late. But my mic wouldn't get on this morning. I had to switch some stuff up, but I think it just popped up and said that it's using the right mic now. Hopefully that sounds a little better. So yeah, if you're joining in, Ross Lowe says better, right on. Thank you. All right, so anyone who's Big Nate, that's funny. All right, Jimmy, thank you for pointing that out too. I appreciate it. Zip Jester, good afternoon from the UK. What's up, Zip Jester? Good afternoon. Jason, what's up? Good morning. Josh Stewart, ready for market to open so I can YOLO. And Pete says an upgrade from TD Ameritrade. I just pulled that up. Let's see here. So just looking right now from yesterday, it looks like a call sweep at the 1250 strike. And nothing here on my TD Ameritrade ticker in terms of upgrades or downgrades. I'm going to take a look at TRADYTICS because they have a news feed too. Yeah, the only actual news I see here is the partnership that we heard about the other day. With the time care. But that's the only one that I see, at least. And then some call sweep stuff. So nothing's coming in here. But I'm going to pull up my TRADYTICS stock ticker real quick and see if we can get some of those analyst upgrades. That's the other thing I miss about Webull too, is Webull always had that information like right there. You could just pick, let's see. No, nothing here either. Let's check Fintel. I wanted to look at Fintel anyways. Yeah, nothing in Fintel. Wow. So institutional. Oh, okay. Pete says he got an email from TD Ameritrade. Clove news is garbage. Investor places Clove is covered in red flags. I did see that article. And what they don't get, they're talking about the balance sheet. It's a startup company, a startup insurance company at that. And, most of these companies, if not all of them, when they first get going, you're starting with no revenue, right? I'm sorry, no profits. Clove has revenue. They've been increasing their revenue every quarter since they started, it seems like, and just doubled their revenue recently, or up 140%. Like, they're trending in the right direction. The way these insurance companies work is the more people you cover, the more profitable you'll be, right? And not only like per user, but exponentially. The more money you're bringing in, the more you can, alter your services and continue to grow and be profitable and maximize that profitability. And that's basically what Clove's been doing. As they've been doubling, we're seeing revenue grow higher, and as they've been growing, I guess I should say, And just recently, we got in the most recent quarter, they said that they doubled their lives under management, and so I would imagine that quarter three's earnings are going to be even better. Revenue is going to increase even more, and eventually they'll get into that profitability zone, and things are really going to take off. So I absolutely agree with you, Mike. It's just FUD. Um, but I was expecting to see more analyst upgrades right now. I'm not gonna lie, because I mean, we saw some of these analysts go long the stock. So at this point, I don't know what they're waiting on. But I do think that we're gonna see something soon. Um, let's see, Michael, what's up? Good morning. So Michael, I got I called it the shotty, but it's the Scotty shots emoji. I uploaded it in there, and there's a couple of other emojis I put in for members. The wine glass, I know that's the one you were asking for. I made sure we got the wine glass in there. Um, let's see. Dennis D says, good morning. Good morning, Dennis. Jason, good morning. Kamal. Ego, good morning. What's up? And I got the TMB for for everybody, but for Ego and co-creator. The typical morning bullshit. It's on there. We got the TMB logo, but I got to change it. I just realized that because I made it black, it doesn't show up if you're using dark mode. So that's on my list of stuff to fix today. Thomas, good morning. Zeke for Bleak. Let's see here. So institutional ownership. I just wanted to take a look. Looks like nothing yesterday at all. The last report is kind of the same thing we saw at the beginning of the day yesterday. All the Vanguard updates. And in terms of maxpain.com, if we take a look at it, still sitting at 850. No real change there. One thing I noticed yesterday, and Chart Exchange is just starting to upgrade their website and offer a little bit more information. But yesterday we did see an increase in dark pool activity. I had pointed out that volume in the dark pool had kind of dropped off a little bit on some of those other days, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's the historical dark pool volume. We kind of saw it dip down. It hit high 50 or low 50s, and we had been used to seeing like above 45 almost in percent wise, and then 42, 43, 42, and then the last couple of days back up. So 47%, 48%. Short volume increased again. Last week we saw it dip off a little bit, 30, 26, 32, 28. And then the last couple of days, 46, yesterday 42 in short volume. I'll pull up Ortex as well. We could check that out. I'm getting some of this other stuff loaded up. Looks like right now Ortex is showing 48 shares on loan. Again, decreasing from what we've been seeing every day. Utilization 90. Looks like a change of 1.2% in short interest, and cost to borrow still sitting right in that 2 to 3 range, where it's kind of been for almost a week or so now. Let's see. Thomas says, straight with the questions. I jumped back into SPRT last night. Seems like that short data is all over the place, though. Do you still hold a position? So I just have those calls that I grabbed that expire next week, and I kind of talked about that yesterday. That I grabbed some calls on a dip last week. They expire next Friday. No, I'm sorry, they expire on the 17th. So I still have a couple weeks on it, and so, but they're underwater right now. I mean, you figure when I grabbed the SPRT calls, I think we were here, in this 37 range. And now we're, down here at 23. We closed out yesterday. So, I mean, there's really, like, at that point, there's no use in even selling the calls. They're almost worthless. But, we've seen how much this thing could move. The only thing I'm thinking at this point is it may be looking to come down and fill this gap. I mean, down to 20 before rallying back up. If you look at the short interest on SPRT, I'll pull that up real quick. I mean, it's still looking like a huge squeeze play. It doesn't seem like any covering has happened at all. This is SPRT right here. And we're looking at, 66 short interest estimated. Cost to borrow is 77. That looks like maybe it's dropped a little bit. But a high of 198, utilization's 92. So there's still a tremendous amount of short interest in this. And so that's another reason I didn't cut my calls. I don't know if I would be adding onto the position right now. And I'm just saying that more from like a safety standpoint, right? I mean, even if you look back at, Clover after it squoze up, on that gamma squeeze back in June, we came down and it was like, okay, maybe we'll fill the gap and bounce off. And then we saw 3 months of consolidation. And so for me, instead of jumping into another squeeze play with shares and then having to average down and kind of consolidate for 3 months, which I'd rather just wait until I see this thing start moving again to jump back in. But I do have calls that I'm sitting on for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So what is that, about 15 days I got left on those calls. So I'll be just, kind of watching and waiting to see something. But, I could see it potentially coming down off this $19, $20 range and bouncing back up, or even off one of these, let's see, these moving averages. And let me pull up my daily moving averages on this. Yeah, not much difference. I mean, at the worst, maybe 16, but somewhere in here, find some sort of support line and start reversing. That's what you're probably going to be waiting on here. And again, when cost to borrow is that high and short interest is that high and everything else that these numbers that we're looking at there, you can get crazy movements like that just out of the blue, to where it could happen today. That it does. I'm not saying it has to fill the gap or it has to go down and touch those support lines or anything. It could see a little bit of volume and just take off and spike and get back rolling. And the option chain is pretty loaded up too, which is going to help in that regard. SPRT and BBIG only have monthlies, so kind of like Clover's position the first time around in June. So there's a lot of concentration, in those monthly expirations. Scotty, good morning. What's up? Fluffer, that's weak. Cell service not working either. Nothing working right. Tried to listen. Everyone had a good day. All right, Fluffer. I hope you have a good rest of your day. That sucks. So I guess a lot of you guys up there in Philly, I haven't been paying attention at all to the news. I was at football practice late yesterday. Got home, made dinner, got some stuff done with the kids for their homework, and I went to bed. So I wasn't checking anything out. Ross Lowe saying, Scotty, you ever listen to Dre Dog in the East Coast? Yeah, you know what, Scotty? I'm gonna have to send you that song. There's a Dre Dog's a Bay Area rapper from the '90s, late '80s, '90s, and he does have a song called Scotty 15. I'm gonna look it up, Scotty, if you're hearing this. Only max paying that's higher is $9.17 for $9 because of the sweep of $12 strike price yesterday. Something happened to happen before 9/17. Yeah, I'd like to see something happen this week, next week. Like, to me, if we can, we last week was a little bit of a victory. We closed above max pain. It was 8. We closed above 850. Had some calls on the money. I'd still like to see us make a push and get above 9 this week, but we know how Thursdays are. Thursdays and Fridays have been the days where they've been able to knock the stock down a little bit. But and speaking of which, I want to see if that sell wall was insane. Um, and it didn't look like it was going anywhere yesterday. Let me see if I could pull it up here. All right, so it's not up there right now, but it may show up once the market opens, because that was the second day in a row yesterday where there was this sell wall that was almost 500,000 shares. Here, let me back up and kind of show you. It was sitting right at 865, and so you could see what ends up happening with that wall is when we get up to 865 here, we can't get through it. The volume on this candle was about 530,000, but a lot of that got us to the point, and now you need the volume to carry you through there. Then we came up and hit 865 again, and we came up and hit 865 again, and after we couldn't get through it a third time, that's when we started to kind of crumble down. Um, Going back to the day before now, so this would be Monday. I think it was here. No, right here. We saw that sell wall and we tried to get in there, and we didn't have anywhere near the volume here. And same thing, we came up, hit that wall, and started to kind of tumble down. Um, so somebody's using that as resistance, and we need the volume to eat through that thing. I'd love to see what's behind it, because if it's still there today. The last time I checked yesterday, I want to say it was at about 404. It was definitely over 400,000. And what happens is, with short sellers, they have two options, right? So if you borrow the shares, let's say you borrow 1,000,000 shares. Well, now you have 1,000,000 shares at your disposal. You could do whatever you want. You could choose to sell them into the market 10,000 at a time to drive the price down, or you could set limit orders and set sell walls, and that's what you'll end up seeing on level 2 over here. It looks like right now at 853. It's not too big. 14,000. That's kind of a lot for pre-market. So they're still putting out some sell walls here to kind of keep us from like moving up in pre-market. But at market open, there was a 500,000, 480,000 share sell order. Now, could that also be, you know, institutions or someone big trying to off their shares? Yeah, it could be, but that doesn't make sense. And the reason I'll say that is this. If I'm an institution and I want to get rid of 500,000 shares, that's a pretty significant amount of shares. Where do you think I would do that at? Probably in the dark pool. That's why the dark pool was created, right? It was created so that if I want to offload a ton of shares, I could do it without driving down the price. So I absolutely would imagine that anyone who actually owns shares in the company that's trying to sell 500,000 shares isn't going to do it by putting up a sell wall at 865. So I would imagine that's absolutely a short seller that's just trying to prevent us from catching momentum and moving up. Jason, what's up? Good morning. Is it all right to take a loss sometimes, or do you hold it until it goes green? No, absolutely. Like when I'm trading, most of my positions, if not all of them, I have stop losses, whether they be actually set or mental stop losses. And when I enter into a trade, I already have a specific level that I'm getting out at a loss at. Um, you know, Clove's kind of a different animal, and the reason I say that is, I see how undervalued it is. Like I sold some Clove on the run up in June, and I bought back in at 17, and I bought back in somewhere around 13, and I've added on, at 8. And the reason I say it's a little bit of a different animal is because with Clove, I truly think this stock should be trading in the $30 range, somewhere around there, and has the potential to be a triple digit stock. No squeezes happening. Like, squeezes aside, I think this. Now, then you also have the squeeze potential. So for me with Clove, um, you know, I don't mind. I don't mind just continuing to add on a little bit different. Now, when I was talking about SPRT and how I'm just going to kind of, hold on to it, that's more of an options thing. So with options, it's like they lose or gain value so quick that it wouldn't make sense to me to sell my options in SPRT that I bought it at 80% loss. Now, bringing it back and looking at this, if you bought shares, let's say I bought these shares right here around 37 and I owned 100 shares, so that would be like $3,700. I probably would have exited, at maybe a 5% loss, which if I do my quick math, that would be about $170, somewhere around there. So I would have exited somewhere, in this at 35. But usually when I'm buying shares of something, I'm reading technicals and I'm looking for like a breakout and then to ride it up. Or if I'm swing trading, maybe I'll set a looser stop loss because I'm not watching all day. And so I'll say, okay, if my price target is, for a swing trade that, the stock has the potential to move up 40%, like my DraftKings play or something, maybe I'll set a 10% stop loss to the downside. In which case, like in SPRT, if I entered in at 37, maybe I'd be looking to get out somewhere in the $34 range. But either way, I would have been exiting here, getting out, and then just looking for a re-entry point, which I still haven't found one yet. Maybe this might have did it, this price action up here. But yeah, so at this point, like with the SPRT play, I'm just holding on to my calls because it's not really worthwhile to sell them for an 80% loss. Hope that answers the question. Mike says market's dead this morning. Nothing worth looking at on my scanner. Scotty, you got to check out Dre Dog. Present Minds, what's up? Good morning. What's the significance of September 9th? So, the big thing, like I did a video on it about 2 weeks ago, and basically there's this theory out there that September 9th is the future rollover date. So futures contracts settle on September 17th, and September 9th is the last day to roll over your futures contracts. And so because of that, and I'll use GameStop as the example, that specific day has been the days leading up to that specific day, has been the days that the highly shorted stocks have spiked. So this is leading up to in March, and I could be off on the date. Let's just say the date was March 10th. You see all this price action leading up to March 10th. Over here in June, again, the rollover date, I believe, was somewhere around June 9th. And look at all this price action leading up to it. And then you fast forward even to now, and this time it's September 9th, and we're starting to see a rise in price action leading up to it. So that's all it is. It's the futures rollover date. And there's a theory that's kind of floating around out there that I would say I prescribe to. I think it seems pretty on point, that at least it's happened twice, and it's not just GameStop. I just used GameStop as an example because it's happened all three times in GameStop because it's had high short interest throughout. But it's been happening, and so the potential's there for these highly shorted stocks, and I really think it is happening right now. Like, even if you look back, if we were to go back and look at the daily chart on all the highly shorted stocks in June, they all started spiking about 2 weeks, two to 2.5 weeks prior to the futures rollover date, AMC included. KOSS, all of them. Then you go back to March and you look at the same exact thing. They all started spiking about 2 to 2.5 weeks prior. Now, some of them ended up spiking later. Clove last time around didn't really get its run until June 7th, June 8th. And I think that the futures rollover, I'm going to look it up real quick. 2021 future rollover. Because I think Clove actually started spiking like at the date. But here we go. So here's the rollout dates for 2021. So if we look at June, the actual rollover date was June 10th. We didn't start moving until 2 days before that. 3 days before that on June 7th. But this time it's 9/9. So it's not that, I still think that it's possible. And if you look at some of the other stocks, they all started moving last time, maybe a week beforehand, some of them 2 weeks beforehand. AMC continued to run, I think, through June 10th last time. Or no, it started way earlier. AMC started popping around June 1st. So either way, but there seems to be a lot of movement. And if you look at like SPRT, BBIG, some of these other ones that started moving this time around, they just started a little bit earlier. But it seems like they all start to move leading into these dates, because that's the last day that you can actually close out your futures contract or enroll it into a further out date. So what happens with futures contracts is it's like an options contract, except you don't have the option on whether you want to purchase your underlying shares. When you have a futures contract, you are purchasing the underlying shares. There's no two ways about it. And so, the only way to get out of that is by rolling your contract out further. And so, I would expect that's why you're seeing that spike, because to close one out or roll one out, you're basically, you'd have to buy those shares and then go back in and roll them out further. Scotty, that's terrible, man. Man, that's so you guys got flooding and everything out there. We got the wildfires going on in California. Sounds like people out there without power. And then I know that down in the Gulf, they're getting hit pretty hard too. So sorry to hear that though, Scotty. Sir Lucky Charms, what's up? Good morning. Ego says low volume day, not necessarily a bad thing. Not at all. I noticed some chatter on Twitter. Eeyore, the guy that always reports on S3, was talking about, specific plays and how some plays were better than the other. And what he was talking about there in a nutshell was volume. We've talked about that on here too. Like, when volume's high, basically what he was saying, I think it was regards to SPRT, he was saying the volume is so high that shorts can go in and cover easily without drastically affecting the price, because there's so much trading going back and forth and so much volume that they can get lost in it and you won't see those price spikes. And that's something that we have talked about back in June, like on the day when we saw 700 million volume in Clove. I remember saying like, hey, with volume this high, and short interest is only what I think at the time 50 million. 58 million or something on the day it goes up. It's like, shorts could have covered 3-4 times over and we wouldn't, like it. So when you get that high volume, it gives them an opportunity to get out. And that's why when you have the low volume, any sort of buying pressure is going to make the thing skyrocket now. But that's more along the lines. Anyone who saw those Twitter posts, that's kind of what he was getting at there. Chef Daddy, what's up? Good morning. Kamal says no sell wall so far. Genetic Nate, good morning. Co-creator, what's up? I know I'm behind in the chat, but co-creator, I threw some emojis in there. I got a TMB emoji. I got the wine bottle. I got the Scotty Shotty, and I did the little Clover on the moon thing. And I'm up. If anyone's got any other suggestions, throw them at me. I figured out how to do it. I was doing it on my break at work. I'll probably make some more today. The other thing that I am going to do today, while I'm mentioning it, if Ego, I'm gonna hit you up afterwards and see if you're available, and if you are, I just have a couple things questions I have, and then I want to get that Discord launched. So hopefully I'll have that up and running while I'm at work today. TMB crew in the house. Let's see here. Champ Vibe in the house. What's up, Champ Vibe? Good morning. What's weird about the 865 thing is it cut away 75,000 shares in a second yesterday, which makes it feel questionable. Yeah, there are. So there's definitely Tar Heels right in that regard. Like with those sell walls, like sometimes people will put those up to scare buyers away. When I noticed it moving down, and I wasn't. I mean, I was at work, so I wasn't watching it as intensely as maybe some of you guys were. But one thing that would happen is as you get these candles, and here I'll even go to a 1 minute candle just so you can see what it looks like. But on a 1 minute candle, as you're going up, this candle right here had 199,000 volume. Now, obviously, some of that was getting up to the 865 mark, but once it gets up to 865, it would be buying into that wall and then hit rejection off of it. And then now we came back up and touched it again, and it would be buying into that wall. So it would be, basically chipping away at the wall a little bit. And that's why you'd see it start to decrease. This other candle right here had 77,000 volume. Then you come over here, we have another candle that hit it with 45,000, another candle that hit it with 126,000. So, every time it's up there touching it, it would be eating away at it. So, I don't know that it's necessarily fake, but I would say that, someone could be putting it up there without the intention of selling it, but that is a pretty big wall. All right, let me try to catch up in here. Caesar, what's up? Good morning. BTFD says big old short sellers sitting on the ask. Yeah, they're in there putting those walls up. As I look here, Degenerates got me on my game now too. Ever since I switched back over to Thinkorswim, I haven't really been looking at the actual level 2, but now I got it pulled up over here on my other monitor so I can see, because that wall yesterday was crazy. 2 days. It was 2 days in a row. United Health does have some things I think Clover Health should offer. $170 a quarter for medical and health supplies from Walgreens, $30 a month on health groceries, and a free premium gym membership. So I know Clove did get into the grocery benefits through Walmart. That was about, I think, 2 months ago. So they're getting there. One of the things I definitely, trust me, I mean, obviously this is only my opinion, but I would say that the company's definitely trying to move in that direction. They're all about bettering patients' lives, and you can see that, they're not just talking about it, they're actually, striving to make those things happen. So I would imagine we'll continue to just see positive news and things like that. But the grocery benefit, I think, was like kind of the first step in that regard. Um, Faith, what's up? Gonna be a closesome day. Right on. Mike, what's up? Good morning. Ghost in the house, what's up? It says late start. Me too. I woke up late today. Pat M, good morning. Cuckoo Bird, what's up? Co-creator, yeah, man, we get it, bro. I know I get it. I know you've been going through the health issues, and I might give you shit sometimes when I see you pop in late, but man, I appreciate everything you do, and I think everybody, we're all pulling for you, and we all have, you know, we know where you're at, man. I'm glad you're starting to uh, get it under control, though, right? The first step is going to you went to the doctor, you identified the problem, and now you're making steps in the right direction to get it taken care of. So I'm happy for you, man, and I wish you well on that journey. Shrimply, good morning. See, Motoguzzi, good morning, good morning. Trying to catch up here. Writing's been on the wall. We're poised for greatness. Let's see here. Sees greatness. I can't pull it up on here. I'm still working on that, and I know Tar Heel gave me some pointers on how to get it up in my stream by using some other software. So that's going to be my next step, is so I can get it up here and actually put the emojis, put all that kind of stuff up on the screen. But that's the next step. But yeah, I got the TMB logo that we're gonna put it. That's in the emojis too. So that one I got to change though, because it doesn't show up on dark mode. I figured that out fast this morning. Um, Damn, am I that far behind? Seedless Green, good morning. It says time to squeeze that lemon. Caught that dip under 850. Um, all right, so Elie, I skipped this one over while I was trying to catch up in the chat. You said, "What do you see BBIG doing today?" So, BBIG's interesting. It's had. I think if I had to choose between like SPRT and BBIG in terms of which one I thought still had the potential to run, uh, I would say BBIG looks a little bit more intriguing, and the reason being is, you know, it's got a low float. Let me pull up. I'm trying to get the options chain up here too, but here we go. So it looks like it's still climbing, right? Like if you look at this, it came up, we gapped down, we filled the gap here, we started climbing again. And yesterday it hit another new highs. And if we look at this option chain on BBIG, which, let me see here, they just added weeklies, which could slow this down. And I'm going to say this reason why. I just noticed this right now. When they do this, it takes away the concentration in the chain, right? So by adding weeklies on here, now there's options for next Friday. So now what's going to happen is you're going to see people come in here and load up on these options for next Friday. And then now instead of loading into this September 17th chain, and so what's going to happen is instead of adding into more concentration into September 17th, it gives them, strike prices for next Friday. Market makers can at least try to pin that at max pain, make all this expire worthless, and that doesn't add on to this potential that I'm going to go over right now. But either way, there's so much potential here. When you talk about like gamma squeezes, or even how we're talking about Clove getting above these strike prices to get all these calls in the money, it's already there. I think where we at. So this is the $5 strike. We have, calls outweighing puts, starting at the $5 strike, and then again at the 6, again at the 7, huge amount at 750, and it just continues. And so what happens there? If we look at, and every single day I got to do this. Let me see. Let me turn my delta on. If we look at the delta, like this huge strike price right here is at 0.73. So the option chain has been carrying it up. But really what we want to do, that accounts for 4.3 million shares. So we want to continue to go up and have the option chain continue to hedge here, which will push us higher and get us here to this, $9 strike price where we were at yesterday. And then the $10 strike price where we were at yesterday. And then the $11 strike price, that's the next one. But now you got 34,000. That's 3.4 million shares. And all these are going to continue to be hedged and move us higher. And this one, I would say definitely right now, I think has the potential to blow out the option chain between now and September 17th because of all this open interest. Now, what are they going to continue to do? They're going to continue. They added the weeklies already, which would serve as somewhat of a distraction to the gamma squeeze potential here. And then they're going to continue making higher and higher, strike prices on the chain. And really, you need the build up in between, right? So there's already a ton of open interest here. You want to see some more concentration here, some more concentration here. And then as they add new strikes, more concentration in there. And that's what creates the gamma squeeze effect. But BBIG has it. And not only does it have it, it's got a lot of it already deep in the money. And that's what you need to get these gamma squeezes to kick off, is those options to deep in the money to provide that base, so that they can't get us down to max pain. So what do I see it doing today? To get back to your question, I mean, obviously I don't have a crystal ball, but I think it's going to continue trending upwards. I really do. Let's see here. Pat says, I'm picking crabs and making crab cakes with my old man, but 10 out of 10, I bet I will still check the tickers even though the markets are closed. Yeah, I do that all the time, over the weekend. I try not to, but, you get on the weekend and it's like, I'll still like, oh, you know what? Something will pop in your head. You go look and pull up my Thinkorswim app on my phone and start pulling up tickers just to see like where something closed in after hours on Friday. And then, I don't know. It's a bad habit though. You got to be able to, put it away sometimes. It's healthy. It's unhealthy to, just kind of focus on it nonstop. And, for me, it's good to be able to like, kind of, okay, you're when you know what you have and you know what you hold and you feel confident about it, and you're in like more swing trades or investments, it's easy to walk away and just set alerts. You can't do that when you're day trading or when you're getting into volatile stocks that you really are just looking to, make a quick buck on. Then you kind of have to watch throughout the day. And I do both and I enjoy both. Let's see here. So we're at 6:15 right now. Market's going to open here in about 15 minutes. Jeffrey's asking, is there a sell wall up this morning at 865? Right now, no. But it's usually that had been, once the market opens, we'll double check and see if it's there. And matter of fact, I'm going to pull this over so that I don't have to keep turning my head and you guys can actually see what it is I'm looking at. So it's so damn small on this screen. But there is my level 2 data from Charles Schwab. There we go. I made it nice and small. And I know it's probably hard as hell to see. But right now, as I'm looking at this, this is the There's nothing there at 865. Nothing major at least, but I would imagine if it does, it'll wait until the bell and then it'll pop up open there, and we'll keep an eye on that. So I'll keep that right over here. I got hella windows just piled up right here on the right side. um, Co-creator, I'm not ignoring your comments. I just I'm reading them, man, and I'm here for you. You know that if you ever need to reach out to me, and I feel like you're more texting with the group on the chat, and I don't really want to throw it up on the screen and all that, man. But I love you, man, and you know um I hope you're healing and getting better, bro. Joseph says my most productive days are when the markets are closed. I know exactly what you mean. Kamal, good point. Says those small walls of 14,000 shares. And what he's talking about is right here, the 853, the 855. I think that's it right now. 853, 855. Yeah, those are the only two I see. But it looks like they're trying to compress the price, by moving it down. But I mean, we've seen though, like pre-market action, whether we're going up in pre-market or down in pre-market or whatever, sometimes that means absolutely nothing unless we're seeing major gaps. Let's see here. BBIG pre-market yank is due to NFTs cooling off. Still 50% shorted. Might be a name to BTFD, or might be a time to buy the F and dip, I think is what he's saying. Let's see. He says NKLA is pushing shorts this morning. You know what I haven't looked at this morning either is, oh wow, yeah, Nikola is running a little bit right now. What closed out yesterday 1076. It's at 1158 right now. Co-creator says don't have to read them. I'm reading them. I just don't want to read them out loud. That's all. I feel like I don't know. It's just you're putting your. I know we're all family on here and everything else, but everyone's reading it, and I'm reading them too. I just prior to September 9th, when do you see people start taking more serious action? Not sure what you mean by that. Like, are you saying like when we'll start to see some buying pressure, or let's see. Kamal says NKLA is the next BBIG. Co-creator, if you haven't yet, now's a great time to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the team. Yeah, so I might as well. I haven't brought it up today. If anyone's interested in joining the channel, I did create the memberships a couple of days, or I think it was last week, right? About a week ago. You get the little badge, custom emojis. I just started adding some in, and what else do we got in there? Once I'm working on a merchandise store. Once I get it up, there'll be some discounts on there, and then I'm also gonna do some cool community things like one thing I'm working on right now, some sort of contest with the NFL coming up. Maybe like a pick'em contest or something for members to just take part in, and I'll come up with some cool prize, for everybody. On top of that, the big thing that I really want to kick off is the whole chalk talk thing, going over whatever it is you guys want to talk about. But it seems like everyone's interested in learning more about options or questions about options, but it could even be something where you want to come on there and just ask questions about specific positions you're in, and maybe strategies for how you can do stuff with your position, whether it be with options or with just stocks or anything of that nature. So I'm gonna do some Chalk Talk streams, to kind of go along with the Chalk Talk videos that I've been putting out on the channel, like the options playlist and the market manipulation playlist and all that. So when we do that, members would have the opportunity to like participate in the chat and do all that kind of stuff, which would kind of be the bonus there. That was what I was thinking would be the biggest, I guess, the biggest thing I could give back for the membership, because I really do appreciate it. But I want to give something back as well. So besides those cool emojis I worked on yesterday. But yeah, so thank you very much. I did get one member this morning. That was Joseph Scott. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it. But that was I feel like I've been blessed. I've almost been every day now. I've been getting at least one member. It started on Friday. Just things really just kicked off. But let's see. Steve the Baker says, I think the dip for BBIG will be around 5 to 6 per share. Okay. Once it comes back down, you're saying, or are you thinking it's going to dip now? I kind of feel like it's not done running. I really do. I just, and the only reason I say that is it had the opportunity to here, but it filled that gap, came down to 545. And now, yesterday it got up to 12. And, I think obviously the big battle now is going to be preventing the gamma squeeze, right? So market makers on the other end are already in a situation where they're well above max pain, and they're just going to be trying to suppress it as much as they can. But it's got potential to keep on running, especially if the volume continues to pick up like we saw yesterday. Div by Zero says, Coach, the rumors that 9-9 is when Clover Moon. I forget who actually did the analysis, but I've heard this on multiple channels. Yeah, so I actually did a video about that about 2 weeks ago. And I'm not claiming, like it wasn't my theory. There was a user by the name of Kemma Kyle that did a post that caught my attention. He posted it on the Clove subreddit and also on Wall Street Bets, and his was based off another post by Creon that was on Superstonk. And so both of these had to do with the future rollover dates. And there is a video that I broke that down in its entirety, and I'm gonna pull that up right now. Just so that you can, if anyone wants to take a look at it, I'll just throw it in the chat, so you can go back. And I kind of explained how that worked and how it related to all stocks, not just Clove. But on top of that, the whole theory there wasn't necessarily that we would run up on those dates. It's that we had the potential to run up moving up to those dates, so it's not that we're going to moon on 9-9. It's that, in the past, these things happened where you would kind of see a lot of movement moving into 9-9. Let's see. Faith says, Coach, would you mind taking a quick look after? Please got in a small position yesterday for a swing trade. Take a quick look at what? Did I miss something? Are you talking BBIG or what are we talking? Sorry, Faith. I don't know if I missed something in there. Ader. I thought you said take a look after. I'm sorry. I'm still waking up. I need some coffee. Yeah, I'll take a look at ATER for sure. Faith, hold on. Yes, 9-9 is also the Wells Fargo conference where Clove will be making an appearance. That is true. So the other thing that could happen there potentially is what we've been seeing is is that with Clove, when they have these speaking dates, things coming up, usually that might bring in its own movement kind of prior, and it seems like short sellers try to hit the stock on the days that the actual news or the conference takes place. But that could also serve as a catalyst too, right? So if they go speak at the Wells Fargo conference, maybe reveal some news, some sort of new whatever it may be, growth, anything. Um, but a lot of times too, what I've seen is when they have these conferences or these things happening, they'll start kind of leaking information beforehand. They know they're speaking here. Like last time, I forget what it was that they were going to be speaking at, and we started seeing all these like almost every day. It felt like for 2 weeks straight, where we were getting positive press releases leading up to it. So not press releases from the company, but news articles in regards to their expansion, in regards to their growth, in regards to the thing they did in Atlanta, the expansion into Florida, like just everything that was coming along with it. So we might start seeing some stuff getting dropped in too. So ATER, sorry, Faith, let me take a look before we get to market open. We only got a couple minutes here. So, all right. So, I mean, if you entered in the other day, it looks like you're up right now. Let me take a look at the daily chart. Again, it's hard for me to kind of look at this stuff without knowing anything about it, without even drawing lines. It does look like it's breaking out of a descending wedge. I mean, if I did draw a line here, it looks like it's starting to pop. And then if we zoom in even closer, we are starting to trend above some of the moving averages. Let me change my study here. There we go. So did get above this 20-day EMA. Really what you'd be looking for next here is some crossovers, right? So we'd want to see this 20 cross over the 50. We want to see the 50 cross over the 100 and start seeing bullish indicators there. But I mean, this thing was well oversold for a while. And it's just starting to pop out. RSI's above 50. MACD's going green. Everything looks to be moving and trending in the right direction. Now, I don't know anything about this stock, like newsworthy wise, why it started to pop, anything like that. Heavy trading volume, got some call sweeps, I think, that came in. It says at the $10 strike. I'll pull up the options chain on this too. Yeah. Looks like it's got some potential in there as well. So Faith says grab an espresso. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Faith. It looks like it's trending in the right direction. Like, bouncing off this bottom of 305, but I mean, it is at double now, so always something to be weary of there. All right, let's see. So we are at the bell. Let me see here. Get my stuff zoomed in a little bit. And also, I want to check on that wall and see if it came back. As of right now, I do not see it. Okay. Sorry, I'm just getting my my orders in place. All right. So, taking a look. BBIG looks like it's going to start running again, potentially. Kind of what I had talked about earlier in regards to the option chain there, is really what makes this thing intriguing, is that, it already has a ton of calls deep in the money. And as it continues to move up, there's so much concentration at every strike price that, not only is it going to meet resistance when it gets there, but when it does pass that, it's going to add more fuel to the fire. Right now, the big number for BBIG Passing 10, that puts 3.8. That's 3.8 million in shares that would go into the money. And then at 11, another 3.4 million. So I think BBIG still got a lot of room to move there. No real action with GameStop. AMC, same thing. Nothing yet. I mean, we're still early though. We're in the first 5 minutes, so it's anything could still happen. As I'm looking around, SPRT is up 6% on the day. I see a huge candle on ATOS right now. That's kind of interesting. Let me pull that one up. So ATOS, I had played it as a gamma squeeze a couple months ago. It didn't work out, but it's been on my watch list ever since. Nice big green candle there. ATOS has a relatively small float. And it looks, I'm looking at the monthly right now. Damn, this $3 strike is already where calls outweigh puts there. But let's go to the weekly. Not a ton going on in these weeklies. But if we look over here, that's pretty significant. I mean, this $3 strike, because this is a very small float. Already has 8,000 outweighing 1,000, and then the $4. If it can cross $4, I think ATOS could move right now. I really do. And I don't have any dry powder to play, but last time ATOS started moving, it went up to 980, and it's starting to. I mean, it looks like it's been going for a while. Crossing into bullish territory, but RSI just got above 50. Yeah, I'm intrigued there. I wouldn't be surprised to see ATOS start running here. Also seeing a nice big green candle out of Clove. Pat Ham says price targets are magically creeping up. Co-creator says, see, co-creator, I got to figure out how to get the emojis on my screen now. Says the typical morning bullshit has begun. I'm going to star that one, Mike, and I'll come back to it. Narwhal's in the house. 6A Spindrift says ATOS had news. All right, let's check out the news. Atosa Therapeutics receives approval from the Swedish Ethics Review Authority to initiate a phase 2 clinical study. Okay. Yeah. And it did just cross 4. I think ATOS has some potential here. I really do. I mean, because it's not like we saw this spike and we're trading in like unfamiliar territory. I mean, yesterday it hit 396. So, and it's been trending upwards anyway. So now we got some news behind it. And, this is I don't know. I think we could see this one run a little bit today too. New member, Fred. What's up, Fred? Thank you. I appreciate it. That's the second one today. I appreciate everything, Fred. This membership thing's pretty awesome. I did not expect this type of feedback from everybody and everyone supporting the channel like this, and I really appreciate all the support from everybody. So, Fred, welcome to the team. Now you get to use your cool TMB emoji for this typical morning bullshit that we're looking at right now. We get the nice big green candle and then coming back down, but it looks like we're about to break above VWAP, I think. I think we're trending up today. I really think today's going to be a green day. But thank you, Fred. Jason says SPRT's ripping too. Yeah, it's 14%, 27.57. Here, I'm gonna. You know what? Hope I don't offend anybody. I think I'm the only one who's really big into GameStop here, anyways. But I'll throw that one up right here, and there we go. So SPRT starting to move too. BBIG's heading in the other direction now. All right. Caesar says TMB. I thought it was the morning bell. Oh yeah, it could be. I guess it could work for both. You know what? If I throw it on a T-shirt, maybe I'll put it as the morning bell. Just because it's you know, I guess more family friendly. Maybe I missed the initial conversation where you guys were calling it the morning bell. I've just been calling it typical morning bullshit because I thought that's what co-creator said. But I guess it works for both. Let's see here. Thomas says save coaches calls SPRT. Let's get it. Yeah, I don't the calls I got, like you said right below, it's lotto tickets, but I grabbed some, lotto ticket, FDs, um, you know, and just looking to see if SPRT was gonna keep running. But I needed to get a lot higher than it's at right now, but it's definitely moving in the right direction for me. Um, Damn, GameStop starting to come down with AMC and CLOV. CLOV has been really tracking with GameStop and AMC. We've been seeing some of these other ones run, like SPRT, like BBIG, some of the other squeeze plays moving earlier on. Um, so I still think CLOV is going to have its opportunity to pop, and I think we're waiting. I still think AMC and GameStop will too. So it could be that our turn is next week. Could be that it's today. Who knows? All right, co-creator says it is what I thought, but the morning bell could work. Yeah, it's it's one of those ones that works either way. Cece says can't get sponsored by Disney with that. Yeah, no, I just want to get some free Disney tickets. Go down to Disney World and go hang out with Scotty one time. Hoping this is the last week they pin us at max pain. Hoping to get some buying pressure tomorrow afternoon to give us the Momo for next week. I hope that 2 weeks ago was the last time they pushed us at max pain because they didn't get us there last week. Last week we closed above it. So if they can't do it this week either, if we stay above, that'll be 2 weeks in a row. But yeah, I'm with you. We definitely want to keep that momentum trending in the opposite direction. And we have been, for the most part, I think, moving upwards. It's maybe not as fast as everybody wants, but we have been creeping up. Not to damn, ATOS is looking really good. If I had some dry powder right now, I think I would be in on ATOS, especially because IV is relatively low. IV right now for ATOS is like 100%. And it's already a good stock, I feel like, that has some potential with a lot of the drugs that they're working on and everything else. So, I mean, even just going out, I'm just looking here. Maybe if I could get my SPRT to jump up today and cash out, I might look for an entry point. But this thing looks like it's running right now. If I was to get in on ATOS right now, because like I said, IV is a lot lower than some of these other plays, I might look at October. Gives you about 45 days, and maybe somewhere here at like the 450 strike. You figure instead of buying shares, you could basically get what, six, seven, eight, nine times as many shares right there as you could with or as calls as you would as shares. So a hundred shares would cost you $450, or I could spend $450 and get 9 calls for the same price. 45 days, still a little risky, but we are right there, and this is a stock that's kind of bottomed out and trending upwards. So that would be my play if I was going to get in on ATOS right now. Would be kind of like October 21st. You want to be safer, you could jump out to January 22nd. I'd still kind of go with the low strike price like that. And the only difference is now you're paying $1. Let's see. Div by zero's taking off. Goodbye, Div. Um, Damn, Scotty, you're going back to Disney World already? I gotta one of these days, Scotty. If you ever go to Disneyland and out here on the West Coast, let me know. I could definitely drive down there. Um, Got to get to Epcot for the Food and Wine Festival. Ride the new Ratatouille ride. Okay, yeah, I've never been out there. I've never been to Florida. Matter of fact, um, co-creator called it. Said the TMB is over. Let's go. Nice. Michael says put a small YOLO position in ATOS a couple weeks ago when it was low threes. Right on, man. I wish I had a little piece of this action right now. I love when stuff on my watch list all of a sudden takes off, and it's like even if I don't have a piece of it, it's like I know that okay, I was looking at the right thing. I just I didn't have that dry powder because I've been throwing it into other stuff, but um, yeah, I hope you guys make some money with that one. I'll tell you what, if I get a nice spike in something today, where I'm able to close out like the BBIG, the SP BBIG, I'm already in the money on, but something to where I want to see it go higher, and if I could still turn around and catch the back end of this one, I might end up doing that. Um, Joseph says up and up, gotta run. See everyone later. Thanks. Yeah. Um, Oh, Michael, that's awesome. Can't wait for the day when TMB evolves into typical morning boom. Get some boom boom candles going. All right, so we got BBIG crossing VWAP starting to really move up. SPRT got a nice little spike, got overheated on the RSI, starting to pull back, but also holding VWAP. ATOS is just ripping right now, and I don't have my. There we go. Starting to get caught up there at the top. I would imagine maybe you'll see some pullback to 4 if anyone's looking for an entry point. Clove closed above VWAP 2 now. GameStop still trading below, down about 1.5%. AMC kind of doing the same. They're both trending upwards, looking to kind of get above VWAP like Clove just did. And yeah, looks like we're starting off pretty strong in all these stocks. So something that I'm excited about as I go get ready for work and start getting ready to start my day. Before I sign off here, let me just check the news tickers. Clove. Let's see here. So nothing really came in today, Clove wise. I know some of you guys said there were some analyst upgrades. I haven't been able to see it on any of my news sites. Um, Sell walls, if we take a look, see if anything popped up. Uh, Nothing significant. 9,000 at 855. That's not too big. 8,000 at 860. 865. 15,000. 14,000. So not nearly as big as we saw yesterday. You know, you combine those together, we're looking at roughly 30,000 at 865. Now, as I continue to move downwards, 17,000 at 875, 50,000 at 9. And I mean, that's expected, right? 9's a big strike price. That's the strike price we want to break above. That's where we're probably going to see the most resistance if we're able to get up that high. And then we'll continue to see them at the bigger strike prices, like I would imagine 950. There we go, 55,000 already. And then at 10, where's 10? 140,000 at 10. Wow. So I would imagine, like, as we, continue to move up here, if we're able to break through 9, 10 will be the next one. You know, all the major strike prices on the option chain that have a ton of open interest, that's where we're going to end up getting the biggest resistance at. But thank you, everybody, for joining. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you guys coming on here with me every morning, especially days like today where I wake up a little late, get off to a late start. I was having trouble with my mic, but you guys stayed in here with me. I'm having fun doing this. As long as you guys keep coming in, I'll continue to keep doing it. Thank you again, Joseph. I know you left already, and Fred, new members to the channel today. Also, you know, I keep mentioning this, but anyone who's interested in options, I made that playlist. It's the Options Basics playlist. It's on my channel. A lot of people haven't, I always get the options questions, but those are really quick videos. They're like 5 to 10 minutes long. And I really tried to really break it down to the bare bones so that everybody can kind of get a chance to understand how they work. And then the next thing I'm going to start doing is trading strategies. So please go check it out. I did that for you guys because I want everyone to learn, right? Let's all learn together. All right. Have a good day. Ego, I just saw your message. I'm going to hit you up later. All right.